So, if you have been following the news about carriage horses, probably know what this video is going to be about. The mayor announcing that he opposes carriage horses all of a sudden for about 4 years, promising the union that he would not take that stance. This video will probably have to be done in a couple of parts because it's actually pretty busy today. Business has picked up since that announcement, I think, because everyone's like, oh my god, I have to take a carriage ride because what if they're gone? But we don't plan on going anywhere. We will obviously still be fighting the ban bill, as we have been fighting these bills since like the 80s or earlier. Not me, but other drivers. So I'm probably gonna have to get interrupted really soon, take a ride. It's a Scout again, as usual. Anyway, one thing that is incorrect is that the mayor has an executive order that bans the horse carriages out there. I don't know why some articles seem to be putting it that way. That is not true. Did you guys want to ride? Did a carriage ride. 20 minutes. A little short ride. We got a reservation a little later. To herd a day for my horse. Anyway, as I was about to say, so this executive order does not ban carriage horses. Mayor does not have the power to do that. That there is a whole legislative process. But what he used the executive order to do was to order the police department and the park rangers and the DCA, DCWP it's called now, and the health department, everybody, to regulate us extra hard. Do you guys want to ride? Park tour? They're just looking. So basically, we've got police and the mounted police horse unit as well, with their cars stationed all over the park, and Parks Department cars stationed all around the park to catch supposed horse carriage violations. They've come up empty-handed so far, because not breaking the law, haven't been. But he's like, yeah, you got to enforce their laws really hard and ticket them and find all these violations. They can't find violations because it's not happening. So he's now wasting city resources by taking, public important, police and things like that, and making them harass carriage drivers, which they're not too interested in doing, but just sitting around with all these illegally motorized pedicabs just flying by them all day. And now they just sit in the park where we are. Just look at the horses. That's what's going on. The order also basically had a letter sent at the same time, City Council, just asking and urging them to, push this bill. Come on, we're gonna move up. Someone else just took a ride. And it says that, encourages carriage drivers to, voluntarily surrender their licenses. And it's why would anyone, turn in a carriage medallion license? I just realized that guy stole my ride. I'll say something to him later. I'm he was in the spot where I was supposed to be parked, and that should have been my ride. Anyway, so it basically says that they can turn in their licenses. So that medallion has sold for more than $500,000 at times. Why would anyone just give up that money? What are they offering you for your private business? Absolutely nothing. Who's just gonna give away their entire business for nothing? What's the trade-in? Nothing. No offer. It's also basically says that it's going to start to look for other job opportunities for the drivers, which obviously we don't want because they're not offering us anything in the equestrian field that we can do with our horses, and we live in the city where we want to live. And it said that we're going to have the Department of Transportation look for more parking spots for the horses, and that it would look for less visible parking spots. They said the silent part out loud. They were we're just going to try to drive them out of business by hiding them in the park even further, even more than they did when they took us off Central Park South, where we were highly visible. I'm hoping they at least just give us some additional spots rather than changing those spots, because, like I've said, we do not have enough spots for 68 carriages. That's been an issue. I'm going to ask this guy about something. So really all the mayor has done is pissed off the city council, because there is a legislative process there, and he's just trying to go above their heads. He has pissed off TW Local 100, who he made a promise to not ban horse carriages, and who had educated him on the fact that the horses are treated well and all that kind of stuff. And now all of a sudden he's just going to stab the working class in the back and, suddenly just ditch this union. He made the announcement in a Teamsters jacket. Carriage horses used to be with the Teamsters. The Teamsters union was created for carriage horses, for horses. So that was kind of a slap in the face to the unions. They are taking out big ads against him. They are, just like kind of going like really hard on him, because that was really messed up for him to do now that he's losing the election and has all these scandals that he's going to need to pay his legal bills for. So it's pretty obvious that after 4 years of saying you're against something, to just suddenly change your mind when you've only got like a month left or a couple months left, in your term, because you're dead last in the election. That smells like corruption. So I think all the council members are kind of like, this guy's going to get investigated, and they don't want to be part of that investigation. So announcement happened 3-4 days ago. Hasn't been any new sponsors on this bill. Bill has not been scheduled to advance to a hearing or a vote. Doesn't sound like it's going to go anywhere. Sounds like he pissed some people off. His deputy mayor is Randy Mastro, who has been with New York Class, the group trying to ban the carriage horses since 2009. Even represented them in a court case because they had all these, campaign finance laws that they had violated in the de Blasio election. Lost that case. There's a pedicab guy trying to scam these people. So it's kind of obvious that once these FOIL requests come out and everything, it will show that he was paid to take this stance. And he's going like hard on it, putting all his crap out on social media. He hasn't even read the bill, because he's telling people that we're going to get electric carriages and that the horses are going to be replaced with e-carriages. None of that's in the bill. There are no electric alternatives in this bill, like he's saying. He's just completely misleading everyone because you didn't read the bill. He is now using the animal rights poll without letting people know this is an unofficial poll. It does not actually represent New Yorkers or anything. Where it says 71%, oppose the carriages. It's actually 71% of 501 animal rights activists that were polled in a poll put out by Voters for Animal Rights. That doesn't really mean anything. The official Quinnipiac polls always show that everyone supported the horses between 61 to 67% for a year straight when those were run. Haven't had any other official polls. Another unofficial poll that was very recent was printed in AM New York that had 77% for the horses, for keeping them here. So this just reeks of corruption. And I'm going to keep fighting it. Oh, I got to be the next one in line here. Pick up this video again a little later. And this whole thing is like just deja vu all over again, because every time I'm writing about this topic, when I write mayor, I'm like, de Blasio, wait, it's not de Blasio, Mayor Adams. Eric Adams is the mayor now, saying this. There's something going on where people really don't want Zoran Mandami to become mayor. And so Sliwa was always, saying what his animal rights wife wanted, and had turned on the carriage horses to support her animal rights views, and he was against them. Cuomo has always been pretty supportive of us when he was Governor Cuomo, and now he's running as mayor. And he now came out saying, I also oppose them because it's not really what they think, but they're, playing politics. Then Mandami has not actually spoken at all about this. He said that he would ban carriages in an I-Class survey he did in March because they were inhumane after an I-Class said they're inhumane, would you ban them? But he's, union guy, supports the working class. He says he doesn't like billionaires, so perhaps if he was educated on the subject, he would not be, pushing these views. Did I name everyone? Yeah. And so then Adams would be the fourth person running. We have 4 people running for mayor. It's kind of crazy. I'm kind of just suggesting people just throw away their vote. Jim Walden is still on there, and he dropped his campaign, but they wouldn't take his name off the ballot. And I'm like, well, just take votes away from everyone else. Vote for him then, because he's not against the carriages. So we'll have to see how this plays out. But the city council seems to be with us for the most part, so it won't really matter where a mayor stands, and we will keep fighting. And I think we may actually be in a better position with the mayor against us, because seems very corrupt. He's pissed off a lot of people, and this could not be going anywhere. But of course, we're gonna lawyer up if it does, and have a few different strategies and all of that. And that's where we're at. But it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to work a job, care for a horse, and work against city politics that are corrupt to make sure you can keep your job and your horse can keep his job.